Have you noticed this harsh truth? Maybe I'm not choosing porn, maybe porn is choosing me. Why do vows to stop collapse at midnight? As if an invisible hand drags me back. My answers came from post-relapse reviews and from watching how my brain was trained quietly, repeatedly until the pattern ran itself. The change didn't happen in a single day. It hid in the moments I told myself it's fine, and by the time I looked up, it was already late. At first I thought a little relief was harmless. Then a pattern emerged. The first exposure felt like fireworks, faster and stronger than any everyday joy. The second time was quicker, louder. I didn't know the brain lesson I was being taught. Supernormal stimulation floods the system far beyond real life and secretly installs a program. When discomfort appears, flee to the screen. I became the person who presses the easy button. One discomfort gives one jolt. Over time, my attention, patience, interests and intimacy were all reordered around that button. The scariest part was how subtle it began. On the surface I just watched occasionally, but frequency, duration, and intensity kept creeping up. Once a week became every few days, minutes became hours. Normal content shifted to more intense. Tolerance rose, thresholds climbed, my brain recalibrated. To reach yesterday's high, I needed more, longer, stronger. Real life's colors drained away. Work felt boring. Hobbies flat. Relationships too much effort. Sunlight, air, and pages lost weight. I couldn't name what was wrong. I only felt lazier, more irritable, and more dependent on that hit to save me. Another hidden mechanism. I coupled anxiety with arousal. The more something made me uneasy, the more it produced that tense and exciting friction that supercharged the dopamine spike. I even sought content that clashed with my values, swinging between shame and thrill. The wider the swing, the stronger the stimulus I craved. I wasn't chasing joy. I was using intensity to cancel growing lows. I clicked not to be happy, but to be less miserable. When the screen shut, emptiness hit harder. I thought I was broken. I was trained. Life outside the screen trained me the wrong way too. In the screen world, one tap equals instant reward. In real life, rewards are slow and learned. My brain learned easy equals good, while reality demands effort before payoff. My circuitry relabeled reality as pointless. Stress chemistry leaked into everything. I was edgy, anxious, depressed. My loved ones saw versions of me. Briefly up after a hit, then prickly during withdrawal. Bonds thinned, intimacy grew tough. I craved connection while hiding behind the screen. Even my body started to air out. Not rising when it should, ramping when it shouldn't. Not evil, just trained to an extreme. I stopped framing this as a character flaw and started treating it as a system running a train mode. Shame became a signal to rebuild. I addressed the push from the past and the pull of the present at the same time. The push, chaos, loneliness, anxiety, pressure, defeat, the pull. On-demand intensity from the screen. I had to dismantle both forces first. I turned off autopilot. I listed 3 high-risk gates. Time, place, triggers. Time, midnight alone, tired afternoons, the gap after failure. I preloaded actions for these windows. I wasn't left empty. 10 deep breaths on the balcony. A quick walk, anything beats sitting and spiraling. Place, the bedroom became screen-free. Devices only in shared spaces. My browser ran on a whitelist, off-list pages simply didn't open. Triggers. I watched for the first frame of fantasy. The instant a familiar opener flickered, I redirected to breath. Foot ground contact. Fingertip temperature. I stood up and changed rooms so wind, light, and leaves could reset my senses. Stop at the start saved me many times. No arguments with the urge, just a firm, gentle steer back to reality. Can't you just resist? Only willpower burns out. The old road is strong because I paved it thousands of times. To loosen it, I had to do 2 things at once. Let the old road wither and grow a new one. Withering needs fewer triggers and fast interrupts. Growth needs steady replacements and repetition. I trained it into lanes. Upstream and downstream. Upstream. Speed and stability. I scheduled rhythmic practices daily. Breathing with counted chest belly waves. Walking while hearing footfalls. Single task writing in fixed blocks. Rhythm acts like an internal stabilizer, pulling me from too fast or too slow back to middle gear. In the middle, urges drop in volume. Downstream. Rewrite the chain. I installed a pause switch. When an urge hit, I didn't decide. 10 slow, complete breaths. Attention in solace. Fingers, no step coolness. In 30 seconds the reach gives click gives escalate chain loosened. No debates, next time moved the energy. A 10-minute brisk walk. A 3-minute cold rinse. A 5-minute sit. not suppression drainage. Give pressure an exit so the old exit isn't needed. I train connection instead of intensity. Long reliance on solo spikes taught me to value fast, strong, and controllable. Real connection is slow, mutual, communicative, adjustable. I learned to separate feelings. Anxiety, name it, and slow my body. Loneliness, message someone. Even today is hard. Shame, write honestly. Then circle today's smallest step. When feelings don't get shoved into the arousal channel, my body doesn't have to stand in every time. In relationships, I'm measured by connection and trust, not raw intensity. Sensitivity woke up in safety, quiet, but solid. I added guardrails to cut relapse odds. Deep focus daily. A chapter read, a page written, a small craft, a tough problem solved. Focus gives stable satisfaction, not nosy spikes. Body routine. Shutdown time. No screens in bed. Simple regular meals. Daily sweat. A steady body lowers emotional peaks. Environment reset. Risky apps uninstalled. Night auto cutoff. Minimal desktop. Whitelist browser. Not about proving willpower, about giving the brain a recovery window. Log and review. I stopped counting how many this week and tracked intervals. 3 days forgives 5. I logged the 10 seconds before each urge. What I was doing, how I felt, which cue appeared, which replacement I chose. Reviews weren't for blame but for patterns. Once patterns show, I can support myself half a step earlier next time. I replanted real rewards. I broke work into steps so progress was visible. I cooked slowly and actually smelled the food. I revived old skills, handwriting, sketching, instruments, even 10 minutes a day. They aren't loud like screens, but they leave a trace, steady, lasting satisfaction. As I invested time here, my brain retagged real-world rewards as worth it. Real light returned, screen glare dimmed. My most reliable tool. The 5-second rule. The first 5 seconds after an urge are the hinge. Any outward move, stand, step, door. Cooler air cuts momentum in half. I rehearsed it mentally. Urge gives stand, gives door, gives wind. Repetition turned it into a reflex. When the moment came, my brain led me out. The road didn't flatten overnight. I still had tired nights, laser-accurate old cues, occasional slips. The difference? I no longer treated a slip as a verdict. I asked what pushed me: bad sleep, rush morning, skip food. What tiny support could I add earlier next time? One kinder choice for my future self. One key moment counts as a win. Stack enough wins and wiring grows in that direction. Not dramatic dash sustainable ... So I stopped calling porn a quirk, and I stopped calling myself bad. I saw an old circuit trained by repetition and a new circuit I could train on purpose. I chose to give my brain time, my body order, my feelings names, my environment boundaries, my relationships honesty, and my goals patience. Do this long enough and true joy, true connection, and true strength come back. For the night you want to give up, remember, the goal isn't to defeat every urge at once. It's to make one better move in the next 5 seconds again and again on behalf of your future self. Keep practicing, and you will train the new you with your own hands.